And so, beloved Master, we will close the circle. We invite the East, the ways of light and air, the winged creatures, and the beautiful thoughts of the mind. We invite the South, the places of the warmth, the hearth, the love, and the dragon energy. We invite the West, the blue energy, and it is that we invite good feelings and wondrous creatures of the deep to be with us in this circle. And we invite the North, the teacher, Gaia, the goddess mother, and we invite all of the creatures of the earth, both human and animal, to be with us energetically in this circle. And so the petitions that we burn each time are a release, that anything that you would wish to release, you can put it on a small piece of paper and burn it while we are doing the ritual. And so the releases are being burned, and the fire carries the petition, the releasing, whatever you would like to let go of in your life, to Father, Mother, God. And so blessings on all that is released and joy in all of the answers that you will receive. And so the elements, the fire, the air, the earth, and the water, we call into the circle to bring their magic into this time. And it is that the spirit candle binds it all together. God, Goddess, all that is. And so, beloved masters, we are here tonight to celebrate the full moon in Capricorn. And it is that this is such a powerful time. Uranus, the final planet of the five large planets that guard the karma of the world, moved into the sign of Gemini on the 9th of July. And it is that brings a whole shift of the outer consciousness of the cosmic contributions to the way of life on the planet. And so, dearly beloved masters, it is a powerful time for you. New thought, new mind, new energy. Who am I? Nothing that I've known remains the same. Everything that I'm becoming is new. I go back and I attempt to live my life as I have known, and it's confusion and conflict, and very often frustration and sometimes pain. And so, beloved masters, the changes are dynamic. They are really huge changes. They are influencing every person on the planet, even though it might appear to some that there are those that are not being affected at all by these changes. And yet, the changes they are making are a part of the changes that are influencing everyone on earth. And so, dearly beloved masters, to feel within yourself Jupiter, the planet of justice, the planet of truth, the planet that rules personal sovereignty. I am a sovereign being within myself. I am a divine creation of God. And Jupiter in the sign of Cancer is calling everyone to feel that emotional release, feeling rather than reaction. And Jupiter sits in a square to Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Aries. I am. And this will continue for the next 2 months until Jupiter gets out of the range of being in connection to the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Saturn, order, structure. It also can be limitations and depression, depending on how you use the energy. Neptune, the planet that deals with everything that is not physical, everything that is not of the physical form, not of the mind, not of the emotions, not of the body, but of the energy that is in all of it. And this square really does prompt the changes of how you are with family. The issues around family will be available to be attended to over the next year, for Jupiter will remain in the sign of Cancer until the end of July of next year. And so, beloved masters, so many changes that are being brought to the planet. Mars is in the sign of Virgo, and it sits in a sextile to the sun in Cancer and a trine to the moon in Capricorn. Capricorn is the father sign, and the moon is there. Cancer is the mother sign, and the sun, masculine energy, is in that sign. So it is a time of balancing, of seeking to find the harmony rather than the points of conflict within self. Let the goddess touch the minds of men, and let divine feminine assist the women to know their power. Cancer Nation, this is home. So many things are changing. So much is going in directions that no one would have guessed. Pluto rules Scorpio, the sign of secrets, of deep wisdom and understanding. It is that in the sign of Aquarius, the sign of truth, of transparency, of honesty, Pluto is calling the secrets, the things that each and every one has known, some for lifetimes, and not really wanted anyone else to know. Until in these times, many people don't even know their own secrets. As Uranus just moved into the sign of Gemini, it is forming a trine with the planet Pluto that is revealing secrets, opening ways of communication that may have been blocked. So everywhere you turn in the cosmos, there are challenges. Who are you? How well do you know yourself? Are you afraid to know? Call on spirit and invite spirit to meet you in your inner temple. In the solar plexus, the seat of the soul, is a sacred space that abides within each and every individual. It is your own holy of holies. Honesty, integrity, clarity, truth, the willingness to discipline. And discipline is definitely, beloved masters, a word that is connected to the sign of Capricorn. Discipline. And so to discipline yourself, not punishment. For so many equate the word discipline with the rod. I will be punished. There will be something terrible that will happen. I've done something wrong. No, discipline in this case is calling you to be clear with yourself, kind to yourself, honest with yourself. And as you are, it's almost as though weights begin to fall off of your shoulders. It is as though things that you didn't even know you were carrying began to be revealed. It is a time of powerful shift and change. Let the changes happen within you with the assistance of spirit, your own personal choice. I allow the changes to happen and I call spirit to show me the way. Or you can say, I'm not changing. I absolutely refuse to change. The way that I'm going feels right to me. The way that I have lived feels familiar to me. And therefore, I will not change. And you have the divine right to make that choice, free will. But the changes, cosmically, planetarily, are happening. Those changes are occurring no matter whether you allow yourself to flow with it or refuse to move. We would suggest, dearly beloved masters, in the greatest of love, that you partner with the divine, that you call spirit to show you the way, to accompany you from the inner spaces. Go with the flow. Allow yourself to feel the love. Energetically make a union, a commitment to yourself from the inside. Learn about you from within. When you stand outside of yourself and watch what you're doing, which humanity has done for a long time, like watching a movie. And yet, when you watch a movie, you're separate from the characters. Oh, you may feel emotions with things that happen, but when the show is over, you can walk away. As you attend to unifying yourself within yourself, as you come home to your inner sanctuary, you find love that has no condition. The world doesn't know that. The world knows divisiveness. The world knows separation. The world knows judgment. There's love because each one of you were created in love. But there is not always the recognition or the allowing that I am loved. I am love. I was created in love. I was created by love unconditionally. You are a physical being. But more than that, beloved masters, and I'm sure you've heard this many times before, I'm a spiritual being having an earthly experience, not so much an earthly being having a spiritual experience. So, as you are spirit more than anything else, the guidance of the planets, the shifting of the energy, the connection in yourself that allows you to understand the symbolism of spirit. Logic speaks in words. We communicate with each other. And yet, even in that, so often the words are misinterpreted. A lot of times they're misheard, and other times it's simply a breakdown in communication. Fortunately, in these times, for a lot of really important situations, everyone's got a cell phone and they're taking pictures and they can play back to you what you said so that if you don't remember, you can hear it again. But, beloved masters, the devotion to yourself. I'm just letting that soak in. The devotion to yourself. How does that feel in your solar plexus? Devotion to yourself. We're not talking about the narcissistic, oh, I love myself. We're talking about feeling in love with you. Because so much of the world sits around and focuses on what's wrong with me and how to get rid of it, rather than what is so beautifully and divinely appropriate. Feel in love. Let the energy come down out of your head. Let it flow into your heart chakra. Let it move to connect with your solar plexus. And in the area of the stomach physically is the great portal of the soul, where each and every being connects with the divine, with the cosmos, with worlds, other worlds that exist right where you are, but you have been educated throughout lifetimes. They don't exist. There's nothing there. What you see, taste, touch, hear, and smell, that's all there is. And so, dearly beloved masters, we are here to really tell you there is so much more. You are vast, and the planets are supporting you in that expansion. You are amazing, and yet you've been taught for lifetimes by religion, by society, by your lineage, that believing that you're good, believing that you're smart, believing that you're capable, believing that you're strong. And I'm not talking about brute strength. I'm talking about strength of the spirit. To own who, who you are so that when they, the nameless, faceless they, tell you you're not good enough, you can feel that loving power, that support in your solar plexus that assures you that you are indeed divine, a divine creative master, a design of divine creation. And you were created to be a cooperative, a co-creator with the divine. So to feel how beautiful you are, because you've been taught if someone says you're beautiful, you go, no, no, not me. Beloved masters, the more you connect with that inner temple, that light within, and it's not just a room. In your first connection, you may see it as a room, as a church, as a sanctuary, as a big chair with a comfortable fire, a place to unite with yourself, to feel, to relax with, to enjoy you. But if you step out the back door of your sanctuary, you may find the ocean. I love the ocean. Or you may look in another direction and there's a mountain. I really enjoy climbing a mountain. Or you may find, as you explore your inner space, which, if you didn't believe it was there, you certainly don't remember what is, you begin to find how free you are in your own space, how free you are. Dearly beloved masters, feel the freedom. Feel you being free with yourself. A lot of times when we speak about responsibility, and certainly the logical mind has interpreted responsibility as heavy, as restrictive, as, yes, powerful, but more power over than just the strength of character. But the ability to respond to your life is powerfully important. Your response ability. Are you there? Are you present? Are you aware of yourself? Are you willing to respond to what life brings you? As you do, It gets a lot more comfortable. You begin to enjoy being with you. You may even look forward to spending time with yourself. And even in the business of life, as so many people say, I just don't have time for myself. Dearly beloved masters, choice is everything. You can choose to make I don't have time for myself your affirmation, or you can choose to, again, commune with spirit, feel in the quiet of your sacred space the way to be with you, to put you first. And this goes against everything that the logical world is taught because everyone has been educated that you're last and everyone else is first. Because you were divinely made, because you are, even though you may not be aware, divinely connected, it is, dearly beloved masters, know thyself, feel yourself, love yourself, get acquainted with who you are, but understand every choice you make returns to your life magnified. So a lot of people are familiar with the law of threefold return. In these times, it may be even more magnified than that, but we will, for the sake of conversation, say every thought you have returns to you magnified threefold. The positive thoughts, the negative thoughts, the thoughts of denial of self, the thoughts of how angry I am that they are getting more attention than I am, the worry thoughts that seem to just go on and on. So, beloved masters, you are a divine creative master. You are a co-creator to bring about great things. But let's define great. Logic only sees the big, the showy, the overwhelming. But very often, the smallest kindness, the insignificant activity that logic dismisses as, oh, it was nothing, has such an impact for dearly beloved masters. You've been educated, you don't have a lot of impact. Every choice you make has an impact. It has an impact on you, and you have an impact on others. And sometimes your choices straightway have an impact on them immediately. So You're not insignificant. You're not small. You're not unnoticed. But it is for you to know yourself so well that you can honestly own the good things about you. Logic focuses on getting the good until it doesn't. And very often, when it stops focusing on getting the good, is when you get it. And then logic says, you don't really have a right to that, you know. You were put here to share with others. Anything you get has got to go to somebody else. It's not yours. A little analogy. Someone brings you a bottle of what they say is fine wine. They give you this bottle of fine wine, and you're very excited to share it with everyone else. But because you are not allowed to participate in your own gifts, you don't sample the wine before you call all of your friends to share it. And in all honesty, when they come, you have no idea whether you're serving them fine wine or sour grapes. So when you make yourself special, and we're not talking about superiority, we're talking about allowing you to be special in your life. It's a balance. And it's almost as though the closer you get to being connected within yourself, you begin to feel a very gentle energy, like a gyroscope moving in the solar plexus. You have a similar one in the middle of your head, which helps with your balance. And so this internal gyroscope in the area of the heart and soul help you to make wise choices. The logical world can go to extremes, and there's a lot of that now. But spirit is constantly bringing those extremes back to center and blending them in, bringing the extremes back to center and blend them in. So, dearly beloved masters, every time that you are in center and you make a decision, you feel the harmony of what you're choosing. Or you may be consciously aware that you are making a destructive choice and you are willing to take the consequences. Well, I didn't have any choice. Is your choice. Yes, it's giving power away to others, but you have the free will to make choices. There are choices being made in high places all over the world, as though suddenly, in the midst of this dynamic cosmic shift, humanity has become a game. And there are those that are rolling dice for the lives of the world. You are a divine creative master, just as much as they are. But it's not about how do I stop them? What kind of a fight do I need to make? Because, dearly beloved masters, it's the fighting, the separation, the conflict, the lack of care, the refusal to acknowledge self that is making this part of the transition into the new frequency of the Aquarian age that much more challenging. People are spending so much energy, Pluto, trine, Uranus, is going to give you much more of a cosmic overview. Mentally, you will begin to experience change of thought, expansion of your mind. Perhaps many of you will begin to feel a hunger to learn. Education. But it's not the ho-hum, dull, boring, go to school, sit in the classroom, regurgitate the answers back. It is, dearly beloved masters, the enlightenment of your totality. Read. Read anything. Read about what interests you. Grab a book on something you know absolutely nothing about, but begin to stimulate your intelligence rather than sitting around using, or perhaps I might say not using, your divine creative energy because there is a binge of some favorite show. That's not wrong. But when that becomes the focus of your time, when you're not having to labor, then, dearly beloved masters, you're still leaving yourself out. And the most important thing, as you learn, as you read, as you grow, is how much bigger you will realize you are. And we're not talking about physicality. We're talking about your energy. The average person has an energetic realm of influence of about 1,600 miles in any direction from where you are. 3,200 miles circle. And yes, all of the people that are in that realm of influence are influencing you, and they're influencing each other. And you can't stop them. So it's vitally important to understand who you are. It's vitally important to understand that the violet flame is a transmuting fire. It is based on love without a condition. It is spiritual alchemy. It transmutes the negativity of the world into the unconditional love of the divine. It's a protection. It is information. It puts you in touch with the well of wisdom that exists within you. And so, dearly beloved masters, feel how this feels rather than just saying, I was taught not to accept this. I was taught, and whatever it was is all there is. But, beloved masters, you are being moved forward energetically in these times. Cosmic energy is very gently, we have to say not so imperceptibly, because I've seen many, many changes of an age. But of all that we have seen, we have never seen an age change as quickly as the Piscean age is moving into the Aquarian age. And it would bring to mind, as the master book is really full of amazing wisdom that different ones have rewritten the book and attempted to eliminate the wisdom in it, and yet wisdom finds its own place. So to remember a small phrase, yes, not very much. If these times were not shortened, no life would be saved. And everything is moving quickly, which means, beloved masters, you get to slow down. You've chased the energy through lifetimes. And there were times when you actually caught up with it to a certain extent. But these times are moving so rapidly to allow humanity to achieve that uprising, that ascension. The word ascension means rise up over. So that rising up over what has been, it brings to mind a scripture of 144,000 virgin men gathering on a rock somewhere and lifting into glory. But then the population was a lot smaller in those times. And the word virgin was understood to mean pure of heart. It had nothing to do with sexuality. But this isn't about a collective of a few chosen ones that are superior, because that's what the logical mind has leaned to. This is an evolutionary process of lifting not just one race of people, not just one group, but, dearly beloved masters, the whole planet. Now, you can decide here again. I'm not going to ascend with them. I'll find someone else to ascend with, but I'm not going to ascend with them. And free will says that's fine. But the ascension is not going to leave you out, and it is not going to leave them out, because unconditional love isn't exclusive. It is, if you would, even more than 100% inclusive. So we are talking to you about choices and changes and seeing things differently and finding yourself new and whole and different. Dis-ease comes from not being comfortable with yourself. Dis-ease. When you're not comfortable with yourself, when you are constantly allowing yourself to experience acid thought, hatred, vengeance, worry, all of these energies are corrosive. And so many on the planet are having a lot of challenges with their digestion. The stomach is in the area of the soul. Why would that be an issue? Because that area processes truth. And if you're not being true to yourself, if you're not being honest with yourself, if you are attempting to force yourself to swallow something that does not digest well with you, you get to consider your choices. But my lineage said, my parents said, my religion said, my mate said, my society said. And you can take all of that and you can look at it. And in every bit of it, you may find something that will work. So you allow spirit to assist you to feel for the things that support you. This is not picking a truth that will allow you to do whatever you want to do. That goes back to the logical mind. But what feels sweet, what feels comfortable, what feels sacred, what sets well on your stomach. And that is soul food. And so, beloved masters, we hear the cries of the people. I especially, since I'm the master of the violet flame, hear a lot of words about you're the master of the violet flame. Why don't you do something? Because, dearly beloved masters, the times are moving away from doing. How do we stop them? You don't. You come to your center, you study yourself, you feel your own wisdom, you call on the connection with the divine within, and you listen to the song of your soul, the symbolism of divine mind. You see differently, you experience differently, but nothing that spirit gives you is going to tell you that you should go out and destroy your neighbors, their property, that you should take things from others, because, beloved masters, as we have said, every choice has a threefold return, at least. But also, those choices of vengeance will bring those decisions back to you magnified. And there are those that are caught in these times in a frenzy of taking things away from other people. Scammers. People that will sell you things that they know aren't good for you. But if you'll buy it, they don't care. And so when we hear people say, nobody cares, the caring, absolutely, beloved masters, must begin with you. Venus, the planet of peace and harmony, of prosperity and abundance, sits in the sign of Gemini conjunct Uranus. And it's almost as though the first message is to change how you look at what makes you happy, to allow yourself to begin to allow things not that are harmful or disastrous, but things you didn't like. I don't like that. I don't like them. Then forgive that and give yourself, beloved masters, the opportunity to know them, to find out who they are. For so many, there is an assumption that they are superior to the people around them. And so, beloved masters, to heal by taking the time to know who other people really are, to know their wounds, to know their joys, to understand them, to realize that they very often care about and like the same things you do, but you assume they didn't. So Venus conjunct Uranus in Gemini, this is a change of mind, beloved masters. And even more so, a change of divine mind, moving more to the experience of listening to the inner thoughts rather than focusing on the outer opinions. So, dearly beloved Master, these times are amazing. They are filled with change. Pluto trines this Venus and Uranus conjunction. Saturn and Neptune sit between, sextiling Pluto on one side and the Venus Uranus on the other. Who am I differently? Who am I as an inventor, reinventing myself? Who am I and what do I have to share? What do I have to communicate? What do I have that is important? But what do they have that is also important? I can speak and I can listen. And even perhaps more, I can feel. I can feel their strength, their power, their courage, their wounds, their anger, their frustration. It really isn't so different than mine. But it doesn't mean gathering all of the anger together and making a huge pot of anger. That's already happening in many places. Dearly beloved masters, it's about gathering your love, Venus, your sweet thoughts, your harmonious essence, your desire to love and be loved, the mysteries of life that are waiting within you to be discovered. There are people that have gone all over the world and they have delved into the ancient past and they've found many things that are thrilling and amazing and expansive and enlightening. But dearly beloved masters, you don't have to go anywhere to connect with you. Just let yourself connect within and be amazed. Be amazed. Feel it. These planets are supporting you to heal. They're supporting you to let go of the iron coat of old opinions. They are freeing you mentally, physically, emotionally, that all that you are can be beautifully blended so that you remember, you become aware, you understand how much more there is to you than you've been allowed for lifetimes to believe. And ascension isn't a race to the finish line. I keep reminding everyone this is not a race. You are not competing with anyone but you. And so, dearly beloved masters, new freedom to live yourself true, powerful in these times, blessed. Every planet, it is that the energy of the sun and Mercury and Mars forms semi-sextiles. The sun and Mars are in a sextile, 60 degrees. Mercury sits approximately 30 degrees away from each one, a full sign. And so, how you think, how you communicate. Mercury in Leo is about love, it's about warmth, it's about the heart, it's about power. It can be about rulership. But, dearly beloved masters, the king and the queen have in times past been those who loved the people so well that they cared for them. In you, each aspect is creating changes. In you, you are uniquely responding to what these planets are telling you. You can feel it in your vibrational frequency. A lot of people are actually having some very interesting electrical experiences, feeling almost as though lightning is struck, or that suddenly you're just filled with warm energy that feels so calming and you belong in it. And it isn't just a momentary experience. Oh, that was nice, and go on to the next thing. Integrate it, explore it, allow it to be yours. Take it in, dearly beloved masters, for these planets that are moving in the heavens, these planets that are sending their messages, their thoughts, their energy, their love to every human being on this ball. They love. It may seem distant, but it's huge. It's big enough to love each one. It's big enough to love many planets. It's big enough to love a universe. It's big enough to love many universes. and you are a part of that. Your logical mind can make you feel as though you would get lost in such vastness. But as you connect within, you begin to recognize how vast you are. And the truth of it is, beloved masters, you're mostly energy anyway. It looks physical, it feels solid. It can certainly die if you kill it. Yet who you are doesn't die. It never has, and it never will. And so, dearly beloved masters, the beautiful movement of the cosmos, even finding within your sacred space the music of the spheres. Dearly beloved, amazing, divine, creative masters, there are millions of us that are with you. We've walked the journey. We've made ascension. We're with you to assist you in your time. And so, beloved masters, we invite you to share the peace, the love, the truth of yourself, of God, and others. God, Goddess, all that is. For the opinions of superiority will begin to fade with all of the other painful aspects of separation. And so, beloved masters, we bless the North and we bless the West and we bless the South and we bless the East and give thanks for all of the understanding, of the support, of the upliftment that each element, each direction, each aspect brings humanity now. The spirit candle burns. It burns with the light that reminds us all that our light cannot ever truly be extinguished. And so, beloved masters, the circle is open. And for those, both in spirit and in flesh, who have joined us, as you go out into your day and your night, we send our love and invite you to return. May we meet, may we part, and may we meet again.